He says, I don't know why you don't just sell that home if you're living under the threat of death. And it just caught me off guard, you know. And here's where I believe, and I'm 100% convinced of this, the people going to the oil show were parking at the Midland Home Depot parking lot, okay? They were going to that store, going underground that store, and behind Home Depot is a tunnel cut coming to my house. I found it on Google Earth Maps. Okay, just as clear as day, you can see where they cut that tunnel to my house. The asphalt's a different color. Okay, and then in my backyard's one of the underground homes. That's where the oil show parties were going on. Okay, 2010, my friend from work, Angie McGee Hurley, tells me about a young girl that's murdered at a 2010 oil show party that she was at because that girl didn't want to. Okay. At the time, Angie was leaving my home and at the parties in 5 minutes. I know this because we were talking on the phone while she drove there. And I believe she drove from my house around to the front of Home Depot and parked and went down and come back in that tunnel back to my house. And this is where it happened at. I tried to get Angie to report this murder like normal people would, okay? And she was afraid and told me high-level police were also at the parties, okay? And then it was a year and a half later, I'm shot with my phone lines cut by somebody under my home, okay? And then I later find proof that 5 Midland police officers were under my home that night. Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and Hale. I have the evidence, I have the proof showing that they're under my home. He says, I don't know why you don't just sell that home if you're living under the threat of death. And it just caught me off guard, you know. I mean, immediately I knew he was dirty, you know, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to terrorize me out of my home. You know, they want me to sell the home because in the backyard's an underground home where they're having oil show parties and it's connected with multiple murders. Okay, that's really what's happening. And we have this extensive police corruption problem. And so anyway, I explained the Hobbs Act to him. And if you don't know what the Hobbs Act is, basically the Hobbs Act's federal law says that because this is America, you can't conspire to terrorize a person into selling their property. And that's what they're doing, okay? And so basically the same thing would happen is like you own an oil well and I want to buy your oil well. And I was like, you know, here, you know, some of your oil well for $1. Well, I don't want to sell my oil well. Well, then all of a sudden we're going to break in your house. Police are going to look the other way and call you crazy. You see how it goes? And I don't know why you don't sell that oil well. You see, that's what's going on. I don't know why you don't sell that home because they want me to sell my property. They're trying to terrorize me out of my home. And that's 20 years in prison, violation of the Hobbs Act. 2 weeks later, I get home and they're digging up the ground and pouring concrete back there. I get it on video. It goes viral. I just met Homeland there, and you know, on July 2nd, and then on July 17th, they're digging up the ground, pouring concrete back there. You know, and I think they're covering it up.